Let me ask you something serious. If the power grid went out, if the shelves went bare, if the system you say you're replacing disappeared tomorrow, would your life actually work? Or have you just built a prettier prison? Hmm. Today on the Farm to Table Show, we're cracking open one of the hardest truths in self reliance. Just because something looks natural doesn't mean it's liberating. And just because you've started swapping things out doesn't mean you've changed the source of your provision. It's time to stop rearranging the furniture inside the system and start building a real escape route. So, rustic chains still bind you. Here's the scene. You're scrolling Instagram. You see a photo of a kitchen filled with raw wood, cast iron, maybe a sourdough starter in the background. There's a basket of farm eggs and maybe a toddler in linen overalls holding a duck. And your first thought, that's the life I want. You don't say, that's freedom. You say, that's the vibe. That's the feel. That's what I'm talking about. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with loving aesthetics. I love a good mason jar pantry and a hand crank coffee grinder as much as the next guy. But here's the problem. You can't buy your way out of a system with rustic charm. You can look like a homesteader, talk like a homesteader, even fill your house with farm core decor, and still depend on the same exact global pipelines for your food, water, energy, income, and medicine. Wow, you've rearranged the furniture, but the walls are still the same. Another day of hitting deep at home right here, hitting hard on the old gut check again today. Man, here we go, folks. It's just part of this week. It's part of step forward. It's part of escaping the systems. It's part of removing systems, trading them out, swapping them out. It's just part of step four. All right. It ain't easy. It gets harder as it goes, I tell you. It doesn't get easier. So, what looks like a tool could be a trap, because even good, local, wholesome things can still be traps if you don't change how you rely on them. Let's take a couple of examples, maybe just one. I don't know. Essential oils. Okay, I've got nothing against them. My mom used them. They helped her a lot. But I've also seen this play out. Someone throws out their Tylenol and replaces it with a cabinet full of oil blends. They stopped going to the pharmacy, but now they're auto shipping $300 of bottles from a multi-level marketing company every month. Did they change their source of healing? No, they just changed brands. Oh, here's another one, and this one's real. This one gets another one a little hit hard. Local food. And we push this hard on the show. Y'all know that. Grow something. Meet your farmers. Break the grocery habit. But if all you do is swap your big box produce for a high-end co-op that's still dependent on cross-country trucking, refrigerated storage, and online banking, still relying on the system, just with better branding. Okay? And listen, I get it. Okay? But here's the point. Self-reliance isn't about what's in your pantry. It's about who or what your pantry relies on. That's the diagnostic. Not does this look traditional, but does this break a chain? And you know how we are about breaking chains around here on the Farm to Table Show. We love breaking chains. All right. So let's get into some questions, diagnostic questions. You must say 4 diagnostic questions. Let me give you the framework. 4 diagnostic questions to help you test whether your self-reliance moves are truly upstream or just aesthetic. Hmm. Number 1, does this make me more dependent on a different part of the same system? Hmm. Example, you stop shopping at Target, but now you're addicted to online Amish boutiques. Hmm. Or you drop Comcast, but you binge YouTube every night on a solar-powered setup. Different surface, sure. Looks different, packaged different. Same trap. Upstream action. Find replacements that eliminate the middleman entirely, not just swap them. Grow it, build it, barter it, or make it relational. Every chain you cut strengthens the whole. All right. Now, here's a big one. Can this work without money? And this one stings, okay? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't spend money. We all have to. But the more money dependent a solution is, the more fragile it is in collapse. And ask yourself, if my income stopped today, could I still eat this way? No. Heat this way? No. And heal this way? So an upstream action here, move from purchase to practice. Can I do the thing, not just buy the result? Let me say it again. Can I do the thing, not just buy the result? There you go. Now, question number 3. Does this increase my skills or just my inventory? Stockpiling feels like preparing, and it's not wrong to store up. Proverbs commends the ant for it, but a pantry without practice is a time bomb. If your emergency plan is built on things you've never used, you don't have a plan, you have a shrine to good intentions. Now, an upstream action. Turn every prep into a practice. Can I cook from it, live off of it, rotate it, replenish it? Say that again. Cook from it, live off of it, rotate it, and replenish it. That's that measure there. Okay. Now, finally, number 4. Does this deepen my community or isolate me more? This one might surprise you because for a lot of folks, self-reliance is synonymous with individualism. But as we've talked about before, that's a myth and a dangerous one. Real self-reliance is relational. It means interdependent skills, shared resources, community barter, and neighborly resilience. If your escape plan involves just you, a bunker, and a bunch of MREs, you've built a prison, not a homestead. So here's the upstream action. Replace transactions with relationships. Something about face-to-face. Replace subscriptions with skill swaps. And replace anxiety with fellowship. Now, for some people, I know that does cause anxiety, but you got to work through it, really. Anyway, so there you go. So that's kind of that deal. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to get brutally honest again. Okay, play acting freedom. We've all done this. We start replacing things that feel good to replace, not things that actually cost us to change. We buy the free-range eggs, but still depend on Big Pharma. We can can salsa, but still live paycheck to paycheck. We build a chicken coop, but we keep our day job tied to corporate Zoom calls and fiat currency, and we call it freedom, but it's not. Okay, now listen, I'm not saying again, disclaimer, I'm not telling you to go quit your job and unplug tomorrow, okay? Might have a plan to do that. I look for a plan every day, but it's an escape room, cleverly decorated, full of rustic props and country lighting, but the door is still locked. If you don't change the source of your provision, if you don't change how you make decisions, how you prepare for tomorrow, and how you relate to people, and how you steward time, energy, and money, then you're not escaping. You're just redecorating dependency. I'm going to say this again. If you don't change the source of your provision, if you don't change how you make decisions, if you don't change how you prepare for tomorrow, how you relate to people, how you steward time, energy, and money, then you're not escaping. You're just redecorating your dependency. All right. And I know these are harsh things. This whole week has been that way. I've been stepping on my own toes. Okay. And I've been punching myself in the gut. I had several, I've had comments like, "You man, you're in our head, you're in our conversation here," or good chat, or good to talk about, tough to do, those kind of things. And you're not wrong. And I'm in your head because those things are in my head. And these are the same things I have to overcome. Okay. I didn't say these steps up this ladder were easy. And in fact, if you're like me, you're probably still a little bit lower down. But we still got to go through these steps and explain them and work them out and give solutions and give things. One, people are at different parts on the journey. And two, we need to be able to look ahead and we're able to know and put a plan together that's based on these steps and based on some of the principles that we've talked about. And this week, step 4 is just a tough step. But anyway, let's move on forward. Okay. So let's talk about some exit plans. Okay. Let me tell you about a guy named Joel. And no, not that Joel. Okay. Joel started out working full-time in IT. Some other people didn't know in IT. Good job. 6 figures even. But he knew the whole system was fragile. His food, his health, his power, even his time were outsourced. So what did he do? He didn't just move to the country and buy chickens. He changed his entire source. He began to shift income, first by offering tech support locally, and then teaching computer skills in person, and then even bartering services with neighbors. Our friends Stuart and Ashley are real good with the bartering, teaching for things and doing that stuff. It's a real good way to work. He began to shift food, one raised bed at a time, and then partnering with nearby growers. He began to shift medicine, learning herbal first aid, not just buying tinctures, which is nothing wrong with buying tinctures, but yeah. And he began to shift relationships, going from online friendships to a weekly men's breakfast and monthly community work days. It took time, took a lot of time. But when the storms of life came, he didn't have to flinch because he wasn't rearranging the furniture anymore. He had built a way out. So the question lingers, what can you do? In fact, what can you do this week? We've been giving you a lot. There's been a lot. I'm going to review it tomorrow. But we've been doing a lot. So here's the challenge. Don't buy anything. How about that one? I bet you didn't think you'd hear me say that, right? Don't buy anything. Seriously though, don't buy anything. Don't go dig. This is not a buying time. Okay. Instead, sit down with 4 more questions. You got those other 4 to look at. Go back, write those down, watch the show. Okay. But sit down with these 4 questions. Number 1, what's one area of life where I think I've unplugged, but I actually haven't? What am I still buying that I could learn to do? Is question number 2. Question number 3, what am I still buying that I could learn to do? Number 3, who around me already lives this skill, and how could I learn from them? I could think of 1 or 2 just right off the top of my head that I'd like to learn. And number 4, what's one system I could begin to exit by building an upstream replacement? Don't just answer them in your head, okay? Because I'm going to have to say, like I said, I'm saving this week's show notes. I usually don't always save them, but I'm saving this week's show notes. Okay? Don't just answer them in your head. Write them down. Write them out. Talk about them around the dinner table or, wherever. Talk about, ask your spouse, your kids, maybe your neighbor, somebody that you count as a confident source, that you can ask things and advice from. You know what? But then the most important, act. Actually act. Okay. That's the challenge this week. Is ask those questions. I'll repeat them again. What's one area of life where I think I've unplugged, but actually haven't? And what am I still buying that I could learn to do? Who around me already lives this skill, and how could I learn from them? And what's one system that I could begin to exit by building an upstream replacement? Those are your 4 questions to sit down and ask yourself about this week. So, no buying nothing, no actually going out and building something, but just answering some good questions. Okay. So listen, freedom isn't a vibe. Freedom's a choice. Okay. And we're going to wrap with this. There's nothing wrong with liking the homestead look. I happen to love it. I like the rustic charm and all of that stuff. And I like the look of it and the right fence and, and all the decor and everything. Building my house with the farmhouse style decor and kind of country cabin kind of, I like it too. Okay. But if those things, including your chickens, are just an Instagram prop, and if your pantry's just for show, or if your herbal cabinet is more wishful thinking than working knowledge, then the truth is, like me, you're still in the system. You've just added shiplap. Okay? The real escape starts upstream. It starts by asking better questions. It starts by changing your source. And it starts today, not with a new tool, but with a new mindset. Because you don't get free by rearranging your dependencies. You get free by replacing them. So this week, take a hard look at what you've built. And if you find you've made it cozy but not capable, it's time to stop redecorating and start digging the tunnel. Okay? Time to get out of the prison. Stop redecorating and start digging the tunnel. And remember this as we part out with this. Self-reliance isn't a style. It's a strategy. And freedom isn't found, it's forged with hard work and sweat and labor. All right. It's forged in blood, sweat, and tears. That's freedom. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that topic for today. I know it's probably a little painful like the rest of them have been. Believe me, painful for me too when I'm working through these things and I'm figuring it out and I'm putting it together and working on it. It gets me, but I know that if it's hitting me, it's hitting somebody else, and if it's helping me, it's helping somebody else. So that's what we try to do. So let's get into roll call. Oops, sorry, little trickery. It's Memorex Ryan again today, and while Robbie had texted me that today being Thursday would be the one day that I was live while he wasn't there. Well, sorry, Robbie. Didn't work out that way today either. I've got to be in nice and early tomorrow. So it is looking potentially possible, looking better than average that I could be live for Front Porch Friday. But I wouldn't bet the farm on it just yet, folks. Again, I do miss hanging out with y'all guys live. All the people that's in the chat. I mean, oh goodness, I could start listing names, but we did that all week, and y'all know who you are. You're my morning regulars. You're the people that come in and hang out, and the people that we hang out with, and I sure miss all of you. And now another day without the Redneck Weather Report. So head on over to Dyer Family Farms and click on Redneck Weather Report and let Jack tell you what the weather's going to be like. Us, it's on again, off again rain, chances here and there as we go throughout the rest of the week. But at least it's not pouring down, washing out the ditches, gully washing. And the temperatures have got a little high, humidity's up. Not real pleasant, but, we're not drowning. So, hey, and we're not freezing in sub-zero temperatures. So there's always things to be grateful for with that. So anyway, again, salute out to everybody who's there, and hope you all enjoyed the topic of the day. And, again, I know this was a tough week. These 4 topics, all 4 shows were tough, kind of hit you shows, and it was designed. I say it was designed that way because I mean this step hits me hard, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. We'll wrap it up, recap back on the week, and kind of and if I'm live, we'll get some comments, I'm sure, and we'll all laugh about it and have a good time with it. But a lot to go back and listen to and learn this week if you haven't caught them all. I encourage you to do so. Anyway, so let's get into today's Brain Buster. Do Brain Buster. Anyway, I don't not as good as real music, but we'll do what we can. So here it is for today. If you work as a security at a Samsung store, if you work as security at a Samsung store, does that make you a guardian of the galaxy? Interesting. Hero. What if they got Groot? Yeah, what if they got the gang in there? Guardians of the Galaxy. Samsung should really market that. They really should own that. Anyway, just saying. Anyway, hope you had fun with that. I laughed at it when I read it because I like the movies and, anyway. But, here we go. So, moving right along to the quote of the day, which is extremely, as always, tied to the topic. And you're going to love this one. Okay. The difficulty lies not in the new ideas, but in escaping from the old ones. John Maynard Keynes, I think that is. Anyway, the difficulty lies not in the new ideas, but escaping from the old ones. John Maynard Keynes. There's some stuff to make you think about it right there. Anyway, so hope everybody's doing well today. It's Thursday, and good news is tomorrow's Friday, right? Friday, payday, all those good things, heading into a weekend. Back on the kitchen, back on getting into that and working around the place and a bunch of other things that got to get done. But anyway, looking forward to it. Ready. I feel like I've already worked a full week and it, haven't even, of course, I guess 37 hours in 3 days. I guess that, it was the way it came that was, bad. Starting it a little earlier than normal, a couple of late nights. But anyway, enough crying from me about work. That's life. But anyway, if I don't like it, change it. Well, that takes time too. But anyway, so all right, let's get into upcoming events. The Homestead Festival, June 6th through the 7th. Hardison Mills near Columbia, Tennessee. That's this weekend, folks, by the way. Might be a little late on the plans, but hey, you never know. Stop, drop, and go. Anyway, so That's at Hardison Mills near Clement, Tennessee. Roy Fix Place. Great event. June 27th and 28th, Modern Homesteading Conference in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. You can find more information at modernhomesteading.com or on the old Facebook. And then we're going to fast forward to Ozarks. Homesteading Expo, September 5th and 6th, Marshfield, Missouri. A lot of stuff going on. They're projecting a sellout this year. It's looking good for a sellout. Not too late to get your tickets. Not too late to make the plans to go. Absolute wonderful event. Great vendors, great speakers, and Keith and I are looking forward to being there. All right, September 26th and 27th, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. Southeast Expo Center, McAlester, Oklahoma. And again, shaping up to be a great event this year. Vendors, speakers, entertainment, food, all those great things. And, just some pretty good, cool people to hang out with. So that's why Keith and I will be there again. Anyway, and of course, Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th, Front Royal, Virginia. Tickets are sold out, but keep an eye out. You never know, somebody might have a pair or a set or an extra ticket you might could score somewhere. I don't know. Now, before we move too much further forward, I mentioned Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. And our friends over at Hippie Callier Homestead, Chris and Dodge, they are, of course, they're off-grid homesteading, and they've been working on their property for some time now, and they're up there, They're down on the map. Up, but anyway, they're down southeast Oklahoma, living the rugged life up in the remotes of the Ouachita Mountains. Anyway, Kiamichi, Ouachita area. But anyway, y'all know they have that channel, Hippie Callier Homestead. Well, there's an idea been floated. I seen it on Facebook, so I don't know if they put anything out on YouTube or not. But they were thinking about starting to do a daily live sometime during the day called Farm Questions, which was basically exactly that. Live on the farm questions. Just questions people have with homesteading or things they've run into, and they can share and talk. And it's, I guess, kind of a forum or kind of a hangout or whatever every day. That's her idea, his idea. I don't know. One of their ideas. But anyway, run on over there to Hippie Callier Homestead and check them out and, see what's going on with that. And, hey, if you think it's a good idea, shoot them a line, let them know, drop a little thumbs up or whatever, let them know that you think that's a good idea, and, support another one of our local people, another one of our homesteaders, another YouTubers with a pretty good idea. They can't have my format, but, hey, I like the idea because, people that are living and doing every day and, just a place to source their problems. I like the sound of it. So anyway, go out, check out Hippie Callier Homestead, and I think you can find them on Facebook and on YouTube. But anyway, go check them on Facebook for sure, and on YouTube. But anyway, see if you can find that post and, drop a comment, drop a line, give a thumbs up, share it, whatever. Anyway, well, folks, when I don't have y'all to talk to, I get done way sooner. It's like trying to go 30 minutes, and my wife says I'm talking too fast, and she might be right. But, sometimes getting old medicine down, you just get it over with and get it quick. But anyway, it is Thursday, and I'm at work. So, again, we'll hope we see y'all tomorrow. I'll be here. The show will be here at 6 a.m. Now, hopefully it's live, Ryan, because I really, Front Porch Friday is kind of its own special deal. And, I can already tell what I know of the schedule. It won't be no 45-minute, hour-long one. It'll be a 30 minutes out the door. If something works out differently, I'll see what I can put together for Homestead Friday. That'll still make it pretty cool for y'all guys. But we'll definitely be recapping this week's topics and definitely be looking forward maybe getting on to next week's step and kind of looking forward to some of that and see what it looks like. And anyway, so I hope this finds you all well. I hope this finds you all doing fine today and better than you were yesterday, and looking forward to another great day today. So that is a wrap for today on the Farm2Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the old like button, give me the old thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. As we know it, we'll make our way through the 7 steps of the self-reliance scale. 7 steps to self-reliance from the Farm to Table Show. We're pushing through. This was week number 4. 3 more to go. Anyway, until next time, keep your roots deep, your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. Remember, we are hashtag stronger together, hashtag think outside the big box store, shop local, and hashtag make the escape. Anyway, be a blessing to someone today, and we will see you all on the other side. And we're going to hand this on over to Hank to roll us on out of here. So take it away, Hank.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.